A lot of you were saying that we didn't do any supporting mods to the car before turboing it. Completely wrong, to be honest. Come take a closer look. That is just one big hole from the right side to the left side. And that's all one. Drinking a Celsius because it's hard for me to sleep at night. Not sponsored. So many of you have been commenting, asking lots of questions on the video where I blew my motor on my turbo GR86. So let's just get right into the video. A lot of you were wondering how much boost, how much power, was being put through the engine. And honestly, I don't have an exact number of what it was at the time, but based off of how fast my car was compared to like Derek's, for example, he was pushing around 8, 9 at the time. He does have a bigger turbo, so obviously it differs from that. But at the same time, he also has a lower compression engine, so that also changes. But I would honestly estimate around the same. I know we've responded to a couple comments saying 12, but that was honestly just kind of like a guess without thinking about all the things. So honestly, we would say probably around 8 to 9 PSI, which puts the car maybe around like 320, 330 to the wheels. Obviously, I've never got the car dynoed, so I wouldn't know an exact number to it, but around there. Yes, there are many people out there who also have a turbo GR86 who are pushing around the same or even more, who have been going reliably for a while. Now, I want to say maybe there was some user error to it, but at the same time, I feel like it was just one of those like unfortunate moments for me where it just, I got the short end of the stick essentially. So that's how much power I was pushing. A lot of you were saying that we didn't do any supporting mods to the car before turboing it. Now, I did do a decent amount of supporting mods. I have oil catch can, I had an upgraded clutch, and there's no way that was slipped from that, and just a bunch of other things, just to make sure everything was running good and all that. Also, oil, it was filled 6 quarts, so it was overfilled by about half a quart, which is what I've been doing ever since I blew it the first time, if some of you know that. And for the oil weight, I've been running 5W30. That's a little thicker than the stock OEM oil that is recommended on this car. So honestly, oiling more than likely was not an issue. RTV was not an issue because when we did the install on the turbo, we checked the tube, cleared it out. Well, there was nothing really in there, so that was good. Aside from that, it should have not been any oil issue. Plus, if it was an oil issue, I don't think the connecting rod would have gave out like the way it did. So that's that. Also, the temps weren't high when it happened. They were normal operating temperatures. Yeah, so for those who were saying that there's nothing done to support it, that's really completely wrong, to be honest. Along with that, the people who were saying that no supporting mods were done, there were also some people saying that we should have not done it on a stock block, we should have built the block, we should have made it stronger and all that. I want to preface by saying, yes, we thought of that, but at the same time, there's like no support for that right now on this car. There is like the HKS block, that's like $11,000. And I mean, yeah, you could get it like custom done and all that, but at the same time, it'll probably be one, a long ass time. It would have taken a long ass time. 2, cost a lot of money still. And yes, this is costing a lot of money. I see that now, but kind of just went for it and wanted to see what we could do with this car on a stock block. Now, I do wish there was more support out there for a built block or forged internals, built internals and all that. But unfortunately, there really hasn't been any company that has done that, so couldn't go with that option. But I do have some insider word that IAG, they are working on building a block. They did just release theirs for the WRX, so that's something I'm sure they're working on one for this car. I'm not sure the time frame on that and how long it's going to take, hopefully coming out soon. But I also did send out a message to Outfront Motorsports, located down here in Orange County, and they kind of gave me a small estimate of, I would say, 1 to 2 months from when I asked them. So I'm not sure if that's like they'll have a final product out ready to sell, or they have, something to show, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards doing right now. So I do plan on getting a built block, or at least building the internals on a block, in order to revive this car and have it push power a lot more reliably. Same as Derek's car, he has forged internals, and that thing has been running pretty well as far as power goes. So that's that. So that's the plan for the car in the future. As far as the tune goes, there was like 1 or 2 people who were like, did you even tune the car? Well, yes, of course I tuned the car, or else the car wouldn't even run. So I have a tune for the car, and I want to start off by saying I do not believe it was the tuner's fault. I don't believe there's anything done wrong on their end. So yeah, I have the car tuned by a pretty reputable tuner known in the 86 space, and they also have tuned many other turbo GR86 and first gen 86s that have no issues at all. So honestly, I can't really say exactly what the problem is because I have no clue. I do believe it had to do with one of the connecting rods just giving up. I think we said that in the last video. Yeah, one of the connecting rods just gave up. Some other people were saying that they have heard stories about cylinder 1 connecting rod also blowing up and dissipating, that which looks like what happened to my car. We won't know until we pull apart the engine. Come take a closer look since you guys couldn't really see in the last video. So I honestly didn't even realize how bad it was because I could only see it at night when it happened. I haven't seen it since then, but looking at it with more daylight, it's freaking crazy. If you look down here right under the throttle body, there's a giant hole right there, and that hole actually extends all the way to the left side here. Basically the top of the driver's side short block case, half case, whatever, the top of it is intact, but under that is just completely gone, and that is just one big hole from the right side to the left side. So it's kind of actually crazy that extended all the way here, and then that actually extends all the way to behind the alternator or under the alternator, which is crazy. It's literally all the way across from, I guess, the AC compressor all the way to the alternator. There's just one big hole right there. That is a giant ass hole, and that's all one hole. At first I thought they were separate holes, but that is just one giant one. So we'll get a closer look once we actually start taking this shit apart, but that's what it looks like from looking inside right now. So yeah, I just want to say, did have a tune, was with the reputable tuner, and I do not believe it was their fault. So do not be blaming the tuner if you guys know the tuner I'm with. But yeah, quick little update. Hopefully we can get a built block soon or something going on with this car. We will be kind of doing it all ourselves, so that's another little series for y'all once that gets going. Hopefully once we get the block going and then start taking apart the car, it's not too long and we can be on our way with it. I do want to mention that once I get the built block, obviously it's going to be one of the first, at least to our knowledge, it's going to be one of the first. So I will be getting it dyno tuned versus e-tuned. If you guys have any more questions, let us know down in the comments below. We'll try to answer them as best as we can. Put your opinions down there, we'll read them and we'll try to respond to them as best as we can. But yeah, stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to see what's coming for this car in the future, hopefully not too long. Yeah, if you enjoy our content, make sure to keep watching. Bye. About a track race. Oh, yo, he's hitting over.
Arrest them.